Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and my friends. The upcoming Street Fighter movie, only in theaters October 16th. So this now has a new trailer. We've known about the movie for a while. We've seen where it's going, but now with a new trailer that features Campy and her iconic bazooka. You know, the bazooka. Campy's bazooka from Street Fighter. We now, I feel, got a pretty good idea where the movie's going, like we suspected. But now it seems all the more likely that, this movie's probably gonna be stupid. But, the good kind of stupid. The kind of stupid that makes you smile. After all, the original Street Fighter film, the 90s Jean-Claude Van Damme film, it was also the good kind of stupid. It was certainly not high art by any stretch. But it was fun and quotable, and that's kind of all a movie really needs to be. So I figured let's go through the trailer here bit by bit, and let's break down everything we've learned about the film so far. So one, and this is probably my favorite thing about the movie, it's an actual tournament. And at that, it is very specifically Street Fighter 2, the second World Warrior tournament. There's no air of mystery about this. And we're going to talk more about that later as well. But basically gathering fighters for a secret, illegal, underground, illicit tournament? Well, that's the recipe for what is literally my favorite movie of all time, so I'm sorta in on the concept. So as for the trailer here, some of the story beats. We've seen El Fuerte from the previous trailer, and he's getting knocked out. Ken's having a grand old time. Fuerte, not one of the stronger people in the Street Fighter universe. If you look in the background, though, there's some people holding like giant Fuerte heads, like, hey, we're Fuerte fans. So there's a couple of them in the background. So they must have got every single Fuerte fan in the world here for this shot. All three of them. So through the trailer, it introduces one of the, odder elements of the plot. And Chun-Li is seemingly searching for warriors to enter Bison's tournament. We all know Chun-Li does not care for Bison. She's got alternative motives, to be sure. But right now, she's the headhunter. And follows the strict canon of Street Fighter, calling Ken a bum.
You're not a warrior anymore, you're a sideshow.
And Chun, if only you knew how bad things are gonna get. But general premise is Ken's a bit of a washed up has-been. Let's get you in the tournament. Which, showing in the trailer against Balrog, might go to mixed results for him. He might be put into the loser brackets after fighting Balrog. So it would seem the main plot, the main thrust besides the actual Street Fighter tournament itself is, Ryu and Ken. And don't think I missed the Ken rolling throw. Bravo. Lore accurate. And speaking of lore accurate, so it would seem Chun is trying to sell Ryu and Ken on the tournament basically on the idea that they might see each other. And they got this quick little shot here. So this is the original World Warrior Tournament 1987. Which, again, yes, lore accurate. Street Fighter 1 came out in 87. Chun saying maybe it's Ken's turn to win, thus inferring Ryu won the first World Warrior Tournament, which he did win Street Fighter 1 by beating Sagat. Street Fighter doesn't have tons of lore, but I do like that they're paying respect to what is there. So, Chun gathering the World Warriors, Ken and Ryu sign up here, got a shot of Zangief on the farm. Hey, we got him to sign up as well. Bunch of cool establishing shots, but the lead up here is, okay, so we established that Street Fighter 1, World Warrior Tournament 1, is 1987. So, Street Fighter 2, the Second World Warrior Tournament, is set in 1993, so this is technically a period piece film, if you will. Which actually is great, because then you don't have to put a bunch of modern contrivances in there. Because that's always kind of the problem with a lot of games. Like, hey, here's Sakura using a cell phone, despite nominally Sakura first appearing in the 80s, like timeline-wise in Street Fighter Alpha, because new game must equal modern day. But yeah, just going out of the way to say the film is very specifically set in the Street Fighter golden age of the 90s. Which is, I guess, where I'll bring up the next point, because there's a lot of Street Fighter 2 noises and sound effects in the movie. Perfect! I've seen some complaints like, hey, how come this character from Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6 or whatever, how come my character isn't in the game? And to be perfectly real, it's because your character doesn't matter. If you weren't alive for this, like we talk about sales all day long, right? Like Street Fighter 2 was the cultural peak. Always was, always will be. That's why this movie is this movie, and that's why there's no Remy. That's why there's no Laura. That's why there's no Jamie. Everyone short of maybe Jury. If they're not the Street Fighter 2 cast, they kind of don't matter. You don't gotta like it, Street Fighter fans, but if you weren't alive for when Street Fighter 2 was a thing in the 90s, you gotta appreciate this was the biggest deal in the world back then. No other games had cultural impact like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter back in the 90s. That's why these characters' legacies remain as strong as they do to this day. That's why you don't gotta like it, but that's why Honda matters more than any new character. So that's just a little bit of a tough love reality check. Now back to the trailer breakdown. So now we're gonna have the big Street Fighter tournament. We have Bison, we have Ken and Ryu doing their things, getting back into the groove. We got a gratuitous Chun-Li undressing shower shot, which again, is lore accurate. I can't even show you the comparison because the original animated movie, well, I'll tell you when you get older. So we go from here. We saw the original trailer. There's a bunch of nightclub shots. There's going to be a big brawl in the nightclub. Dallasum, Vega, Guile, all going at it. We do get this pretty funny, although somewhat out of character line out of Campy.
Everyone keeps going on about your thighs. What's going on? I don't see what the big deal is.
So yeah, Chun, her thighs, maybe not lore accurate as it's hard for a human being to pull that off. And we've seen in the original trailer here, Campy has the Killer Bee outfit, which I'm sure will garner some fans. Also, the alcohol in the shot confirming all Campy players are drunks. If you played any amount of ranked, you know I'm not lying. Also, hey, speaking about gratuitous shots. But yeah, so Campy being played off like a little bit bratty, a little bit snotty, which is not really on brand for the character, but she has a bazooka now, so who cares? Like, frankly, I'll take any personality for Campy versus her current brand of literally zero personality. Maybe they're going for like some Harley Quinn vibes or something, I don't know. This is Killer Bee Campy, so she's brainwashed by Bison, so maybe by the end of the movie she'll break the brainwashing and go back to having no personality at all. We'll see, but yeah, it's different. And as the trailer begins to wrap up, we get a bunch of action shots, right? So we knew that there's gonna be a big Chun-Li and Vega fight. Spinning bird kick to Vega, and Hazanshu to Julie. So they're hitting all the classics.
Bitch, please!
Dan is Ken's manager, maybe? Ryu training arc. Ken just getting destroyed arc. Between this shot here of Zangief hitting Ken with the atomic suplex and the fact that Balrog humbles him earlier in the trailer, I don't think this is gonna be Ken's movie. Ken is the punching bag of the film, it looks like. Which, fine by me. I don't like Ken. Honda versus Ryu in the showers? Hey, sure, why not? Boom. More classic moves in the trailer, going for the lightning legs, going for Vega's leap. You can tell they're like treating it not seriously, but in like the best kind of way, right? Like Street Fighter's inherently a little silly, so go nuts. When Vega does the leap, I better hear like, "Hoo!" You know, something like that. Akuma's in the movie, we knew that, so we can see Akuma going for his Street Fighter 6 level 2 super, hitting it against Ryu. Akuma, man of few words. You know, it's just mostly going to be like grunts and stuff, right? So that'll probably be a very strong test of Roman Reigns' acting ability, because that's probably going to push him to his limit. So what I'm seeing out of everything here is like, is this movie going to be schlock? Yeah, you bet, buddy. It's going to be schlock, but the good kind of schlock. The schlock where, you know, they're having fun, we're having fun, we're all in on the dance.
I'm positive that a fireball came out of Ryu. Do it, Ryu!
So with this trailer, with the last trailer we saw, and I'm sure, you know, because it's still months out, there'll be more trailers yet. Is this going to be movie of the year? Nobody. It ain't going to be no movie of the year, but it should be fun. Just like the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie was kind of silly fun, I think this will be silly fun as well. I think that's exactly what they're aiming for, and hopefully they hit it. Being a little too self-serious doesn't help these kind of films based off these properties, right? Like, of the more recent Mortal Kombat films, the newer one that's coming out looks a lot better than that original one from a few years back, for sort of the same reason, because they get it now. I expect when the movie comes out, there'll be a lot of co-promotion, a lot of co-branding, hopefully some movie costumes. We still could use some more costumes, right? You know, since we're having more classical characters like Balrog and Vega, I expect someone to show up in season 4 of the playable characters we'll get, just if anything help tie into the movie. But also, again, because it's the Street Fighter 2 cast, they're the ones that actually matter in the end, and it'll always be the case. You don't gotta like it, but that is the reality of the situation. Vega will always be more culturally relevant than Karen. But that's the old man in me talking, right? So the movie looks fun, the good kind of silly fun it needs to be, and I think that was the biggest struggle point of the film, is like, do they realize what it needs to be, or is it going to be up its own rear end? And I think they realized out of the gate what it needs to be. So whenever it's out in October, I'll be seated. I'll watch it. I'll have fun, I'm sure. We'll see when we get there, I guess, right? Because it's not exactly every day we get a new Street Fighter film. So I'm really interested just to see where this is all going to go. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there because we got the new trailer. Let's talk about it. And well, I guess that's about it for me, and that's about it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.
Yeah.